that was read by Reverend Akers. And from Mark chapter 8, want to pull once again from this ancient text to find relevancy for today's life. Mark chapter 8, I want to pay specific attention to verse 25, which says, "After that he put his hands again upon his eyes and made him look up. And he was restored and saw every man clearly." After that he put his hands on him again upon his eyes and made him look up, and he was restored and saw every man clearly. I want to use for a subject this morning, Lord, touch me again. Amen. Lord, touch me again. There's a story of a man who had gotten behind on his child support obligation. And he had received a letter that he had to go to court, and when he went to court, they gave him a certain amount of time to pay his delinquency, or spend 45 days in jail. In that process of paying the delinquency, he was blessed by God to have the funds and went to the child support office to pay what he owed. But it just so happens he got there a little bit late. And the child support office told him that they couldn't accept his payment because they'd gotten there after the cutoff time, but that he could go down to the clerk's office and still pay it and get credit, and everything would be all right. So he goes down to the clerk's office, gets there just in the nick of time, pays his debt, and thinks that everything is just fine when he gets the news from the clerk's office that he has to spend a couple of nights in jail. They took his money, gave him a receipt, but then they took him. They took his possessions and made him take some tests. They took samples of his hair and his fluids and other things, and then they held him in jail, waiting on the results of the test. As it would happen the next morning, where the test results came back, and everything came out all right, and he was released and was able to go on his way. He was filled with joy and frustration. Joy because he had been blessed to be in a position to pay the debt that he owed, but frustrated because he still had to go through a process even after having paid the price. And I want to suggest this morning to all of us here, and hopefully it will help us this morning, that sometimes there are times in our life when we feel like we paid the price, but we get frustrated because we still have to go through a process. The debt has been paid, but life sometimes still requires of you a process. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I don't want to deal with the process. We live in a time that sometimes we call this microwave mentality, where they want to put everything on and press a button, and in 35 to 45 seconds, ding, it's done, and we can move on about our lives. But every now and then, we got to bring a slow cooker out and put everything in the slow cooker, and we'll go through that process of 6 to 8 hours in order to get that thing that we really want. Yes, Jesus did pay it all, and all to him we do owe, but every now and then, we have to go through a process. And the going through a process doesn't mean that there's a flaw or a fallacy in your faith or in your Christian walk. But going through a process simply means that you're in good company, because sometimes process equals progress. Yeah. Such as a discourse we find here in Mark chapter 8 this morning. Because Mark, I love reading the book of Mark, because Mark is like a kid in a candy store. He doesn't spend a whole lot of time going through all the genealogy and the chronology of Jesus, going through all the rites and the rituals, the conversations, and the heavenly revelations. He is like a kid in the candy store. He goes right for the good stuff. Mark writes and talks about nothing but the revelations and the miracles that Jesus performed while he was down here. Mark wants to suggest to us that Jesus was not just the Son of God, but was also the Son of Man, which we talked about in Sunday school this morning. And he came and did things that were the benefit of mankind that were noteworthy. When you read Mark's work, Mark records some 19 miracles in his work. And his work is just not a chronology of the work that Jesus did, but if you ever read Mark's gospel, and I invite you to, there's a certain tenor and tone that Mark writes about, because almost every work that he writes about, there's a word or one or two words that's found in every one of those scriptures. And then it's either immediately or straightway. Jesus does stuff in Mark, and the word says it happens either immediately or straightway. In Mark chapter 1, verse 18 through 20, there's some brothers who are fishing. And Jesus decides to draft them and tells them to follow him. And the scripture says immediately they followed him. Yeah. In Mark 1 and 31, Peter's mother-in-law is sick, and Jesus stops by the house to heal her fever. And the scripture says that when he shows up, immediately it happens. Yeah. In Mark 1 and 42, a man with leprosy comes to find Jesus, and Jesus has a conversation with him, and the scripture says immediately he was healed. Yeah. In Mark chapter 2, verses 12, the man with palsy and his friends carried him to the house, and they got so mad because they couldn't get in, they tore off the roof and let him down through the roof. And the scripture says Jesus talked to him, and immediately he was healed. Yeah. Mark chapter 5, verse 29, the woman with the issue of blood shows up. The scripture says she touched the hem of his garment, and immediately the fountain of her blood dried up. Yeah. Mark chapter 5, verse 42, Jairus' his daughter was sick, and Jesus walks in and says, Talitha Kumai, which means daughter, arise. And the scripture says straightway she got up. Immediately it happens over and over and over and over again in the scripture, but tucked away in the scriptures here in Mark chapter 8. Immediately does not happen. This story is kind of an anomaly in the book of Mark, because it's the only story in the book of Mark where stuff does not happen immediately. It teaches us though that sometimes God does not do everything immediately. Yeah. Sometimes God takes you through steps and stages. Yeah. Sometimes God takes you through a process. But I stopped by to tell you this morning, if you find yourself going through a process, don't worry, because you're in good company. Yeah. See, the reality of it is, each one of us, if we're honest, there are some things that happen in our life immediately, and other things take time. Yeah. And sometimes we don't want to deal with those things that take time, but sometimes going through the process, and I tell people this all the time in counsel, sometimes you have to be happy about the process, because if you're going through the process and you see the process moving forward, you have to be able to praise God for progress. Yeah. You know, all of us find ourselves going through some things in life. None of us are exempt from hard times. None of us are exempt from bad news. But the reality of it is not that we get bad news, it's how we deal with bad news that sometimes helps us in that process. Yeah. In verse 22 of the scripture it says, and he, being Jesus, came to Bethsaida, and they brought to him a blind man and besought for him to touch him. Now Jesus in Bethsaida and these brothers bring a blind man to him, wanting Jesus to touch him and make him whole. And I like that there, because that reminds us that none of us are able to walk through this life alone. Amen. All of us will find ourselves in a place or a position where we will need somebody else to get us to Jesus. Right. Every now and then, the reality of it is I need somebody in my weak moments who can still see Jesus and get me to him so he can do what needs to be done. Yeah. They brought him to Jesus and expecting Jesus to work a miracle. And you know, sometimes when people in this day and time, I don't like what I see in the news media and in social media, because everybody wants to be a self-made person. And like they did it all on their own. They came up on the come up and they have nobody to thank but themselves. But you know, I was sitting at an airport one time and something dawned on me. We get in these airplanes, these big, powerful machines with all these engines that have all this power to take hundreds of people and thousands of pounds of stuff and go great distances. The airplane can soar higher than the birds, fly faster than the eagle, and land in places sometimes good sense will tell us we ought not land. If you ever been to, we've been to a couple of islands where you got to the runway and people were thinking, man, that's a small runway. And the pilot, when he sat it down, we all cheered and offered to buy him a drink. But you know, the airplane has a fatal flaw. With all that power, with all that capacity, the airplane cannot go in reverse. So it pulls up to the gate, fills up with all its passengers and cargo, and under all that power, it can't back away from the gate on its own. So it needs a little fella in a little white truck to hook up to the front of it and push it away from the gate so that they can then taxi down the runway and go on its journey. What do you mean by that, preacher? I don't care how big and bad you are. Yeah. I don't care how much you think you're the stuff. Every one of us needs somebody in our lives who is willing to hook us up hook up to us, push us away from the gate so that we can go about our journey. Yeah. None of us can go through life alone. And then in verse 22, and something I like about there, it says, because there's a word there that says they. All of us need a they in our lives. Yes. And I like the fact that it says they, because, you know, maybe we should have a they ministry, Reverend Akers. What do you mean? They, because it seems to be in this day and time, everybody wants their name in lights. Everybody wants to make sure they get the credit when they feel credit is due them. But here are these brothers, and they're just mentioned in the text as they. And it's interesting because many times when we do stuff, we want people to call our name and pat us on the back. But I love it when I see people who are more concerned with getting God's work done than having their name called. They were more concerned with getting him to Jesus than making sure people knew who they were. They. It says they took him to Jesus. And then the interesting thing is in the next verse, the Bible says Jesus takes the man by the hand and leads him out of town. Now, let me stop right there because, you know, just because you bring somebody to Jesus doesn't mean Jesus is going to include you in on their deliverance. Yeah. And many times, part of the thing that Jesus may be delivering them from might be their dependency on you. Right. And so Jesus has to remove the man from his friends in order to deal with him because you know how it is. And sometimes we want to help people. And we want to do stuff for them. He said, no, I got to get you by yourself and deal with you so we can deal with your issue. Yeah. And so he takes the blind man by the hand. And I've been thought about that. What must it have been like to know that you're walking and you can't see where you're going, but you're holding Jesus' hand? Uh-huh. What was that walk like? What did they talk about? When you're walking and holding Jesus' hand, and I wonder, did he sing it that, oh, he walks with me and talks with me and tells me of his own? Uh-huh. But Jesus, the scripture says, he took him and laid his, and when he looked on him, the Bible says that Jesus takes the blind man and spits on his eyes. Now, let me pause right here and say, me personally, I would have a problem with that. I know it's Jesus, but it's still spitting. So maybe, I don't know if Jesus took him by himself in case there was a fight, because he was going to spit on his face. I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe you're a little holier than me, you could have taken it. But no, because I've seen Jesus heal people with a touch. I've seen people heal people with just a word. I've seen people tell people to go wash and they got healed. And you got to spit on them. All right. That's just me. I got problems, I know. Forgive me. Pray for me. I'm going to get better. But the scripture says he took him by the hand, he led him out of town, and then he spit on his eyes. Now here's the other thing. Because if you back up and look at verse 22, in scripture in verse 22, it says they brought him to Jesus so that Jesus could touch him. Jesus removes the man from his friends and then spits on him. Sometimes God is going to bless you, but it's not going to be the way you think you're going to get blessed. Yeah. Sometimes your help, your healing, your deliverance, whatever it is going to come in a route that you can't dictate. And so sometimes God has to separate you from people because he did it like this to me, or I saw him do it like that yesterday, so this is how it's going to be. And sometimes Jesus needs to cut you off from people so he can do it for you however he has deemed to do it for you. Yeah. He spit on him. I don't even, don't spit on it. It spit on his eyes. They had to spit in his face. They got just, drill it down. I got problems. Forgive me. But the scripture says he spit on him and then put his hands on his eyes and asked him if he saw anything. Now, this is Jesus. This is him who made the heaven and earth, who was there in the beginning. This is Jesus who can walk on water. This is Jesus who has already fed 5,000 and did it again 4,000. This is the same Jesus who has gone to the pool of Bethesda before and raised a man. This is Jesus who does not ask questions, who he does not know the answer to, because he is God. And because he is God, he knows all things. And so Jesus is not asking the question because he does not know the answer, but he's asking the question to get the man's attention. And sometimes God will put you in a place where he asks you a question, not because he doesn't know the answer, but he needs to get your attention so that you pay attention to something specific. And so here's this man who has been blind, who is now sitting there with spit on his eyes, and God has touched him, and he says, do you see anything? And looking up, do you see anything? Then he looks up. See, I struggled with this, and I realized the man's faith had not yet been activated. Because here's the thing. His friends had faith, and they took him to Jesus. And so he had to separate him from his friends, because I can't do this on the faith of your friends. I need to establish your faith. And so I'm going to do something for you in a way that nobody expects it to be done, but then it's going to require some faith of you. Yeah. Because if you've been blind, and been blind a long time, and just because somebody does something, it doesn't mean you've expected to see. And so, in order for the man to see, he's got to open his eyes. All right. Amen. All right. You can pray for a job and 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 pray for a job. But until you pick up a pen or get on a computer and start to fill out an application, then you can't get the job because you've got to give God something to work with. Yes. All right. I don't know, it made sense to me last night. I apologize. Yes. So he asked the man, do you see anything? And then the scripture says, and then he looked up. In other words, he was standing there with his eyes closed and his head down. Mm-hmm. Jesus asked, do you see anything? He had to lift up and open his eyes. Mm-hmm. And it's at that moment, his faith starts to be reactive because he had to, and when he opened his eyes, he then begins to have some expectation. Yeah. Because otherwise, as soon as Jesus spit and touched him, he would have opened his eyes. And so we cannot find ourselves in a place where we assume that just because you prayed for somebody that they got the faith for God to work. And so sometimes you got to press the issue a little bit. And so there are times where people say, I need you to pray. Okay, what are we praying for? What is your expectation? You don't got to tell me everything that's going on, but tell me what you want God to do. I want deliverance. Okay, do you believe God's going to deliver? Okay, now we can pray. And so the man looks up and says, I see men walking as trees. I see men walking as trees. And for a long time, I wrestled with that text because I see men walking as trees. And then it hit me. Clint, he had seen before. Right. Or else, how does he know what a tree looks like? all right and have something happen to you and it cripples you and causes something in life to go wrong, and then God blesses you to get it back right. But here's the issue. The issue is, I see men walking in streets. And then the verse says, and Jesus puts his hands on the man's eyes again and made him look up. And he was restored and saw every man clearly. You see that in the text? You still got, I hope you still got your Bible. Verse 25 says, and he put his hands on him, he put his hands again upon his eyes and made him look up, and he was restored and saw every man clearly. What are you getting at, Pastor? I'm glad you asked. The first touch was to fix his eyes, because his eyes did not work. Yeah. But the second touch was to fix the man. All right. Because just because your eyes work, sometimes your mind will play tricks on you and cause you to see stuff that's not there. Yeah. And because when the enemy, see, we think the enemy is not after your knee. The enemy is after your mind. He doesn't want your knees, but he knows if he can affect your mind, you'll stop using your knees, and then all of a sudden you can't play drums. That's true. No, that's true. The enemy is not after your body. The enemy is after your mind. That's why Joyce Meyer and T.D. Jakes and all these people have written all these books about the battlefield of your mind, because that's where it is. The enemy comes in and wants to plant thoughts that cause you to stop believing in God. Because just because an accident happens, it doesn't mean your faith is messed up. You will have an accident in life, but you can still have strong faith to carry you through. So what he does is he plants seeds of doubt in your mind. So then after the accident happens, the doubt is already there, and then you don't have the faith to live through the accident to get to the other side. Yeah. Hope I'm making sense, because the first touch fixed his eyes, but the second touch fixed the man. In the text, he says, and he was restored. Yeah. Lord, you touched me the first time, and you fixed my body, and I thank you for that. But I need you to touch me again and fix my mind so that I'm restored. Restore me so that I can see right. Restore me so that I can hear right. Restore me so that I can discern what's going on around me, so that my mind is not messed up. And what I think I see, I do not really see. And so I'm acting out on something that's not really there. Yeah. Lord, touch me again. There are too many people walking around as Christians who need a second touch. All right. They need their minds restored. They need to be them restored. It's not a knee or a back or an eye or an ear or a brain. It's I need my mind restored. I need to think clearly so that I can see clearly. Because if I'm not thinking clearly, it doesn't matter what my vision is. I'm not going to see things the way they really are. And if I can't think clearly, I can't act on God's word clearly. If I'm not thinking clearly, my faith is not straight. All right. I hope I'm making sense. We bring people to the church all the time. We tell people, just give that thing to Jesus. Let God work it out. But every now and then, we need to pay attention to the condition of people's minds. You know, don't just pay attention to the condition of their body. Pay attention to the condition of their mind. Because the man's biggest issue was not that he did not see. The biggest issue was the condition of his mind. Because the condition of his mind will still kept him in bondage, even if his eyes worked. Well, Raymond, that's why there's so many people over there was at Building 5 at the VA. Not because there's something wrong with their body, but it's because of the condition of their minds. Yeah. The body works and functions properly, but the mind is messed up. They need to be restored. I offer up that there's some people, in, maybe not the person sitting next to you on your pew, and if it's not them, it might be you, but it's probably somebody you know. Their body is not messed up, but it's their mind. It says that he was restored. He was restored. Not his eyes, not his feet. He was restored. We're walking around looking at people, healthy and whole, they got everything going on, but they're mean and hateful and nasty. We trying to figure out what's wrong with them, what they got to be mad about. Their life is good for them. They got a nice car, nice house, nice job, all this stuff. It's not the stuff, it's their mind. The mind is the problem, and Satan comes to attack our minds. And then Jesus says something. I always wonder why Jesus tells people, don't go tell anybody. Don't go back into town. Maybe it's because when Jesus delivers you from something, he takes you out of a situation that may not have been the best situation, the most healthy situation for you to be in the first place. But because your mind wasn't right, you got into a bad situation. And so he said, I need you to go home another way. Because I don't want you going through that again. Because if you go back through that, you're going to get messed up all over again. Right. Maybe I'm the only one with friends, and they keep doing the same thing over and over and over. Or maybe, if we're going to be honest, maybe I'm the only person that's ever done something and say, Lord, hey, never going to do that again. And then find myself the next weekend doing it over again. Now I'm not going to fall for that trick again. I fell for that trick again. I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to go there again. And I find myself going over and over and over until I move to the place where I realize, you know what, I got to go find a new way to go around so I don't go back through. All right. Amen. Lord, touch me again. Mm-hmm. Tell them, don't go back through that time. And so draw this to a close. We live in a day and a time when it seems like everybody wants the easy answer. And sometimes the easiest answer I got for people in counsel is, I don't know. Only God does. I'm going to pray with you that God helps both of us to understand this, because I don't understand. Babies die unnaturally. People say God just needed another rose for his flower. No, he didn't. If God needed another flower in his garden, he could say flower will grow, and it will grow. Yeah. Why did it happen there? I don't know. Sin, that's not as best as I got. But when you say stuff and we do stuff, and sometimes I think we damage people because we don't have all the answers, but we're trying to say stuff to make us feel better. Yeah. And so sometimes we got to just be bold enough and honest enough to bring them to Jesus and then be happy with that Jesus takes them away. Mm-hmm. See, I like John the Baptist because John the Baptist, when Jesus shows up, he'd been preaching and teaching and talking to people about Jesus. And when Jesus shows up, he said, behold the Lamb of God. And then his disciples follow Jesus, and John doesn't get upset about it. Because I don't know where Jesus is going to take you. I don't know what Jesus is going to do with you. But if Jesus said you need to leave here and go over there must be better for you, and I'm all right with that because it's in his will. And then if you find yourself in the midst of something, and you ask God for a touch, and it still doesn't seem just quite right, be bold enough to say, Lord, touch me again. I need a second touch. Lord, you heal my body, but my mind ain't quite there. Lord, touch me again. Lord, I know you did this, but I still got a little trouble over here, and I'll be honest, I'm fearful in my mind. Lord, touch me again. Whatever it is, however it goes. Because there's a lot of brokenness. There's a lot of brokenness in this world. That's why people are doing the crazy stuff they do. Why would children kill parents? Why would parents kill children? Why do people shoot up schools and malls and nightclubs? Because of brokenness. Because their minds are clouded. Yeah. That's what it is. And so instead of just praying that they get saved, Lord, no, touch them. Restore them. Whatever is messed up, touch it and restore it and bring it back to the right place. So they find themselves in the right relationship. Because Lord, if they can see you right, They don't see me right. We dealing with a lot of racism and classism and sexism and all this stuff in the world, and we can't figure out why we can't get it right, because everybody is trying to get right with a messed up mind. If everybody would see God for who he is, instead of living in this culture where we all act like aliens and crawl and say, do what thou shalt, because I am of God, so if I do it, if it feels good, it must be right. But if we find that and we see God for who he is, and we put Jesus where he's supposed to be, put the Holy Spirit where he's supposed to be, and we see God as he is supposed to be seen, we'll see ourselves right, then we'll see other people right. And then it won't be so hard to respect people.
Yeah.
It won't be so hard to love people.
Yeah.
It won't be so hard to act the way we're supposed to act.
Yeah.
It won't be so hard to come and worship instead of simply coming to church.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this at homecoming, it's worship. It's not church. If your mind's messed up, you can't worship. If your mind's not right, you can't worship because you don't see God as he is. If you see him as he is, you worship him the way he's supposed to be worshipped. You'll treat people the way they're supposed to be treated. And then once you move to that point of restoration, don't go back the way you came. Go back the way that God tells you.
Amen.
Because he's like GPS. Sometimes he rewrites you because he doesn't want you to end up in a mess. Driving to Tennessee, we were going by GPS. It's been a while since I've driven to Tennessee, to Clarksville, outside of Fort Campbell. And we were driving using the GPS, and we were looking at stuff, and there was an accident. I guess just a little over the line. It was in the middle of the night. And I can read the map. Lord Jesus, I can read the map. But we were sitting, we said, let's pull off here. And my wife said, well, what if we drive up here? And so we hit the GPS and it rerouted. It was like, oh, well. The next thing you know, we are out and around the accident. It was a 2.5 hour delay. We missed all of it because we listened to what the GPS said and we rerouted and we went around it. Even with a bathroom break. Was that way longer than it needed to take because of two people that won't be named at this time. But every now and then, we've got to make sure we see God for who he is. And then listen to what he says. And he may be trying to reroute you around some stuff. Because if you go through it, it's going to mess up your mind. That's the word of the Lord. That's all I got today. I'm sorry. I wish I was a little bit better. Like I said, I'm still practicing. One day I'm going to preach a real good sermon. I'm just saying all over the room.